Hello everyone, What Ifs here. I'm just doing this intro to explain that I was supposed to post last week, but I couldn't because I've had some shortcomings that I'm still trying to resolve, but I should get back to it soon, so don't worry. This week I'll probably post at least another video. For now, this is just the movie version of all the What If Vegeta won the Saiyan Saga parts compiled into one, with some minor alterations. So, you won't be hearing my voice on this video yet, but in the next one, I should be completely out of TTS already. So yeah, let's get to it.
The fight on Earth reaches its final moments. Yajirobe tries to cut Vegeta's tail, but is too slow and gets crushed. Then Vegeta unleashes a ki blast from his mouth, erasing Krillin and Gohan. Finally, he smirks at Goku before crushing him between his hands. After all is said and done, the sole survivor of the Saiyan race sends a beam of energy, effectively vaporizing the planet's crust. This was work to him, to kill entire civilizations, not some petty revenge or act of anger. However, as he flies off in a space pod, he can't help but think that there's no going back. This time around, Vegeta goes to Namek immediately since his injuries were much less severe, so he only get a minor Zenkai boost from his spaceship's own medical capabilities. The planet by this point is still calm and green. The villagers look peaceful, unaware of the chaos coming. Vegeta flies low, scanning the area. He spots small groups of Namekians, who flee and hide from him. He doesn't hesitate. Vegeta mercilessly kills any living sentient being he sees, tricking them into giving him the Dragon Balls before massacring the entire village. In just a couple hours, he gets 3 of them. The search goes much smoother than the original, since he didn't waste time to heal. However, some things don't change. Soon enough, he's found by Kui. I knew you would be here, Vegeta. After losing your only comrade on that place, I was sure you would come to stop Lord Frieza. I will not allow that. Vegeta's eyes widen. Frieza is here? Sure, he knew his scouter had picked the info about the Dragon Balls, but to think the tyrant had already gotten to this place was bad. Really bad. Without wasting time, they clash. Without a big Zenkai from his Earth battle, this fight is tougher than it would have been otherwise. Energy blasts collide in the sky. Rocks explode beneath them, and beams tear through the landscape. Vegeta adapts. He moves strategically, focusing on precision instead of brute force. Eventually, Kui falls. But Vegeta notices something. He is far too weak yet. Later, as he flies across the planet, Vegeta senses something. The Namekians around him emit energy, but it's different. It's subtle, controlled. It reminds him of how the Earthlings hid their power. He concentrates, learning to suppress his own energy completely. For the first time, he can feel the ki of everyone around him. He can sense the Namekians hiding in villages. He can sense the soldiers scattered across the planet. And far away, Frieza. He smiles briefly, realizing the advantage. But the smile fades as he senses a latent power just as high as his behind him. Dodoria arrives, attacking with full force. Vegeta blocks beams and retaliates with sharp, precise strikes. Rocks explode around them. Trees and hills are destroyed. Every strike he delivers is countered by another with devastating force. Dodoria is just as fast as Vegeta, but tougher and stronger. For a moment, he considers using Ozaru. The power could give him an immediate advantage. In fact, it would be enough to kill anyone in the Frieza force, except Frieza, but it would reveal him to the one who destroyed his planet. And he's not ready to risk that. He chooses to retreat. He disappears into the sky, moving fast and creating explosions of dust to avoid Dodoria. Hidden in a rocky outcrop, Vegeta stops. He has only 3 Dragon Balls. He cannot face Dodoria again. Zarbon is still a threat. And Frieza? Untouchable. Then he remembers something. Dodoria's scouter was destroyed. Frieza has no way of tracking him directly. An opening. Vegeta closes his eyes. He senses Frieza's ki, distant but clear. A plan begins to form. Vegeta moves carefully, eliminating soldiers along the way before infiltrating Frieza's ship. He steals 3 Dragon Balls and a healing pod. Later, he heals up briefly, regaining strength and feeling the effect of a small Zenkai boost. Now, 6 Dragon Balls are in his possession. Only 1 remains. He searches the terrain carefully, following any and each energy signatures. The final Dragon Ball is inside a house on top of a mountain. 2 strong energy signatures are inside. Vegeta hovers above, preparing to strike, but he pauses. the larger power of the two steps outside. Vegeta immediately recognizes this as the strongest Namekian he's ever come across. Someone who, even when holding back, would have annihilated him weeks ago. Vegeta doesn't attack. He watches. The wind blows across the mountain. Everything seems still, each warrior waiting for the other to do something. Nail moved first. The Namekian warrior vanished from sight, reappearing in front of Vegeta in an instant. A heavy blow slammed into Vegeta's guard, sending him skidding backward across the rocky terrain. Vegeta snarled and countered, launching a barrage of ki blasts. Nail weaved through them effortlessly, closing the distance again and striking Vegeta with crushing force. The difference in power was clear. Vegeta steadied himself and smirked. So, well, this is Namek's best. He thrust his hands forward, purple energy surging between his palms. Gallic gun. The beam tore across the battlefield, but Nail met it head-on. With a roar, he fired his own blast, overwhelming Vegeta's attack and detonating it in a blinding explosion. Vegeta was thrown back, his body slamming into the ground. The earth cracked beneath him. He forced himself up, breathing hard. Even with every trick Vegeta had, Nail dominated the fight. Each exchange ended the same way. Vegeta pushed back, battered and bleeding. Strike after strike landed on Vegeta's body, his armor splintering under pressure. Vegeta raged. First it was a low-class warrior, now a bug that he had already killed thousands of. And yet, he was losing. Blood dripped from his brow, his vision blurring as Nail advanced. Vegeta clenched his fists. Bleeding and desperate, he made his choice. Artificial moonlight flooded the battlefield, bathing Namek in a pale, unnatural glow. Vegeta's body convulsed. Bones cracked. Muscles expanded. A monstrous figure rose from the light. One that this planet should have never encountered. Vegeta transformed into an Ozuru. The ground trembled beneath his feet as he roared, raw power tearing through the air. The fight ended almost instantly. Nail struck back, unleashing everything he had, but it was meaningless. The great ape's fist came down, crushing him beneath overwhelming force. With a furious roar, Vegeta fired a massive ki blast. The explosion erased everything in its path. The land was reduced to rubble, and only silence followed. As the dust settled, Vegeta reverted to his base form, barely standing. Among the ruins, something caught his eye. A Dragon Ball. Amazingly, it was intact. Vegeta laughed weakly, dragging himself toward it. Victory. Immortality. It was still within reach. But the moment his fingers brushed the surface, the Dragon Ball turned to stone. Vegeta froze. He didn't understand why. He didn't know that Elder Guru had just died, his life snuffed out by the same blast that killed Nail. The Dragon Balls were gone. Before Vegeta could even process it, his body gave out. He collapsed. Vegeta woke up much later. Hours? Days? He couldn't tell. Every breath hurt. Every movement fired pain. By all logic, he should have been dead. Barely conscious, he dragged himself back to his healing pod. The liquid filled around him. His body repaired itself. And when he emerged, Vegeta was stronger. He had just gotten another Zenkai. But this time, there was no satisfaction. He didn't feel the thrill of a new power-up. Only the desperation of knowing it was still nothing compared to Frieza. And now, without Dragon Balls, he could never get immortality. His dreams disappeared. Vegeta clenched his fists. Not in defeat or surrender. Just a new change of tactics, delaying his revenge. Not surrender. Charging at Frieza now would mean nothing but death. That meant only one thing. He had to leave Namek. Avoid Frieza and his forces, survive far away, and strike back once he would become a fully realized Super Saiyan. He would get there? He had never been stronger than he is now. Vegeta returned to his pod, preparing to escape the planet before Frieza realized what had happened. The sky darkened. Vegeta looked up just in time to see several space pods descending from orbit. They slammed into the ground only meters away, sending rocks and dust flying in all directions. His blood ran cold. The Ginyu Force. Elite warriors. Monsters loyal only to Frieza. Vegeta's eyes darted to the pods. No matter what he did, his ship wouldn't get off the ground. They were too close, too fast. He clenched his fists. Hiding was no longer an option. Namek had just become a battlefield far deadlier than before. And Vegeta was right in the middle of it. He tries to retreat. Frieza's elite arrive. The Ginyu Force. Captain Ginyu steps out first, instantly recognizing the Saiyan. He smirks and orders his men to kill him. Vegeta knows the truth. He's outmatched. This is Vegeta versus the Ginyu Force. And failure means death. Without another word, Ginyu ascended back into the sky, leaving Guldo, Raikun, Bertur, and Jace behind. The soldiers briefly contemplated who should face Vegeta, until Guldo moved first with a smirk. He wanted to stop time, to kill Vegeta instantly. But before Guldo could even activate his technique, Vegeta dashed forward, slicing his head off through sheer speed and strength. He knew Guldo's abilities and how to kill him before they could be used. Guldo's body hit the ground, lifeless. The others stared in disbelief. Vegeta didn't even look back. One down. Recoome charged, roaring with power. The battlefield erupted as the two collided, shockwaves ripping through the ground with every exchange. Recoome's raw strength battered Vegeta, but Vegeta's speed and combat IQ kept him standing. Blow for blow, neither gave ground. That was until Vegeta began to adapt. A sharp strike to Recoome's ribs. A brutal knee to the gut. Recoome went to throw a right hook. Vegeta smirked. It was too easy to read him. The Saiyan slipped under his punch and countered with a devastating kick to the jaw. Recoome staggered, his face twisted. Vegeta gathered his ki. This was it. Vegeta roared Gallic Gun. However, before he could release it, Bertur vanished. Jace struck from the side. The two moved in perfect synchronization, overwhelming Vegeta from every angle. Their combined attacks crushed him down, slamming his body into the earth again and again. Did you really think we would allow you to kill us like you did to Guldo? Jace shouted, stomping on Vegeta. He tried to rise to no avail. Recoome watched in silence as Vegeta was beaten into the ground. The Prince of all Saiyans was done, or so they thought. Vegeta's vision blurred. The battlefield dulled into distant noise as pain finally let go. Fear followed soon after. Instinct took over. He tilted his head skyward and raised one trembling hand. Ki gathered densely above his palm, condensing into a brilliant sphere of artificial moonlight. The Powerball. It launched upward, bursting open in the sky. Pale light flooded the battlefield. A scouter shrieked. What? Jace glanced down at the screen. His power level. It's still rising. 400,000. The device cracked. Static swallowed the display as it shattered. The air grew unbearably heavy. The ground trembled as Vegeta's body answered the call of his blood. Bones cracked. Muscles tore, then reformed. Armor splintered beneath expanding flesh. A roar tore from his throat, deep, primal, resonating through the valley. The great ape rose. Bertur realized the mistake first. Panic flashed across his face as he turned to flee, but the shadow was already upon him. One massive hand closed, and when it opened again, nothing remained. Jace screamed, firing wildly into the towering form. His blast vanished against fur and flesh, swallowed whole. A single stomp into the noise, shaking the battlefield to its core. Recoome charged. Even now, he believed strength might be enough. The great ape met him head-on. The impact split the ground. Recoome's body was crushed beneath overwhelming mass, his defiance erased in an instant. Silence followed. Dust drifted through the air. Craters marked where warriors once stood. Captain Ginyu returned. He froze. His eyes widened as he scanned the battlefield. His comrades were all gone. What happened here? He stammered, horror creeping into his voice. Vegeta's shadow loomed above him, massive and unrelenting. The great ape's roar echoed through the valley, rattling Ginyu's bones. The captain wouldn't go down without a fight. Before Vegeta could react, Ginyu lunged, attacking at full power. The clash shook the ground, sending shockwaves across the battlefield. Vegeta swung with raw, devastating strength, every strike fueled by blood and rage. Ginyu realized a single strike could end him. He needed to command that power. Change. Vegeta's massive fist smashed into Ginyu's face midward. Bone shattered. The roar of the great ape swallowed the remainder of the cry. With one final, savage strike, Captain Ginyu crumpled, lifeless beneath the shadow of the great ape. When the dust settled, Vegeta's shadow still loomed over the broken forms of Bertur, Jace, and Recoome. The ground trembled again, a different energy this time. The sky darkened. A new presence descended. Calm, absolute, terrifying. Frieza landed lightly on the battlefield, Zarbin and Dodoria behind him, their eyes taking in the carnage. So, Frieza said, his gaze fixed on the towering Saiyan, this is what you've become, Vegeta. Vegeta's fists clenched, muscles taut beneath his fur. The roar of the great ape echoed through the valley, a warning and a challenge all at once. The real nightmare had arrived. There was no warning, no announcement, no declaration of power. Only the low hum of energy in the air and the distant howling of wind as the great ape lunged forward. The ground ruptured beneath Vegeta's massive foot. Stone shattered. Mountains trembled as his fist tore through the air toward Frieza with overwhelming force. The blow should have ended everything. Instead, Frieza laughed. He slid backward through the sky, barely avoiding the strike, his tail curling lazily as if this were nothing more than a distraction. My, you truly have changed, Frieza said. Behind him, Zarbin and Dodoria froze, their confidence evaporating as they witnessed the scale of Vegeta's power. Leave, Frieza added casually, not even turning his head. Return to the ship. They didn't hesitate, however they never made it far. A beam of ki erupted from the great ape's mouth, precise, merciless. Zarbin and Dodoria vanished in an instant, erased completely, their existence reduced to fading light and silence. The battlefield went still. That's a shame, Frieza said with a small smile. Then his eyes returned to Vegeta. The clash resumed. The great ape roared, swinging with relentless fury. Each strike carried enough force to reshape the land. Frieza met him head-on, weaving, deflecting, countering with sharp, controlled movements. For the first time, this was not domination. It was a fight. Frieza was forced back, his feet skidding across broken stone. A massive fist clipped his side, sending him crashing through a cliff face. Dust filled the air. Vegeta's breathing slowed. The great ape straightened. There was a pause, and hope crept in. Frieza emerged from the rubble, brushing debris from his shoulder. His expression had changed, no longer amused, no longer relaxed. Vegeta charged again, faster now, more deliberate. Blow after blow forced Frieza on the defensive. The battlefield shook under the weight of Saiyan power. For a moment, it truly seemed possible. Then Frieza sighed. "This little fantasy," he said calmly, "has gone on long enough." Frieza disappeared. Pain erupted through Vegeta's body. The great ape roared, not in rage but agony, as something was torn away. His balance vanished instantly. His strength collapsed like sand through open fingers. His tail, the massive form convulsed violently. Bones cracked inward. Fur receded. The towering shadow shrank rapidly as gravity reclaimed its prize. The earth trembled when Vegeta hit the ground. No roar followed, only labored breathing. Frieza hovered above him, arms crossed, expression flat. Disappointed, Frieza descended slowly. His tail wrapped around Vegeta's throat, lifting the Saiyan prince effortlessly into the air. Vegeta clawed weakly at it, boots kicking uselessly. A fist struck his ribs. Something shattered. Another blow followed. Then another, each impact sending Vegeta flying, slamming into stone, dragging his broken body through the battlefield. Frieza did not rush. He savored it. "This," Frieza said quietly, "is the true difference between us." Vegeta tried to stand. His arms gave out. Frieza landed in front of him and leaned down. "I've been holding back," he said, voice almost gentle. "And now, I will show you something I never showed your father." Frieza transformed. His body twisted and expanded, power flooding outward like a tidal wave. The sky darkened. The air became unbearably heavy. Vegeta's vision blurred. Every instinct screamed danger. "This form surpasses 1 million," Frieza said. Vegeta felt it immediately, not as pressure, but as certainty. There was no path forward, no strategy, no miracle. Only the end was ahead. Vegeta's body shook against the ground, not from fear, but from understanding the impending doom. Memories surfaced uninvited. His father kneeling, his race erased, his life spent serving another. Every victory had been meaningless. Every sacrifice wasted. Vegeta's fingers clenched, digging into shattered stone. "No," he muttered weakly. The word barely carried sound, but something stirred. Not pride, not rage, but defiance. "I'm the prince," Vegeta growled, forcing himself upright. "And I will not disappear like the rest." The air around him began to vibrate. The ground trembled. Golden light erupted violently from Vegeta's body, tearing through the battlefield like a storm. His scream echoed skyward as power surged beyond anything seen before. Hair ignited into blazing gold. Eyes hardened, sharp, merciless. The Super Saiyan stood. Frieza froze. Vegeta vanished. A single strike sent Frieza crashing across the land, his body carving trenches through stone. Another followed, then another. Vegeta laughed, wild, unrestrained. "So this is the legend," he said, voice shaking with power. "So this is what they feared." Frieza rose slowly. Furious, he transformed again. Frieza's third form emerged, twisted and monstrous. The battlefield ceased to exist as the two collided. Power tore through the land, erasing everything nearby. Neither side yielded. Vegeta pressed harder, but his breathing grew heavier. The golden aura flared violently. Energy screamed across the battlefield, ripping stone from the ground, bending the air itself. The sky darkened as power gathered around Vegeta in blinding waves. The Super Saiyan stood trembling, not from fear but strain. His veins burned and muscles tore. The legend was being forced into existence. Vegeta raised his hands. Every ounce of power he had left surged forward, raw, uncontrolled, catastrophic. The blast erupted outward, a pillar of light that swallowed the horizon, drowning the world in gold. The land ceased to exist, and only silence followed. Vegeta stood alone, breathing. A smile formed, but then just as he walked away, he felt dread. A voice came from behind him. How tragic. Vegeta turned. Frieza stood behind him, smaller, smooth, flawless. But most importantly, unharmed. "This," Frieza said softly, "is my final form." The golden light around Vegeta flickered violently. For the first time since arriving on Namek, Vegeta understood. This was not a battle. This was an execution. Frieza raised a single finger, charging a sphere of energy, the same attack that destroyed planet Vegeta. "Your downfall was always your pride," he said calmly, pointing his finger in an explosion that consumed planet Namek. Some timelines have good endings while others just fade into destruction. If you enjoyed this story, leave a like. It helps the channel grow. And if you want to explore another timeline, there should be one on your screen right now.